What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to our channel, Ageless Fitness. You got Carlos right here, aka Beast. Also, a little trivia. They also call me Triple C. If any of you guys could guess that, you got a free workout with Larry and I and a free protein shake. But we want to introduce you to a great topic today. I'm going to pass the ball to Larry. We're going to talk about surgery and the importance of learning and listening to your body, and just be mindful of things that could happen, things that you may feel. But yeah, I'm going to pass the ball to Larry, aka Horse. And what do you think about that, Larry?
How you doing all? Great to see you. Another episode here at Ageless Fitness. So welcome back. Yes. So as Carlos had mentioned regarding surgery and being able to perform, right, prior or after to having a major surgery. So in first time ever, I played sports through high school, college, and a little semi-pro, always trained. About 4 years ago, in March of 22, I was diagnosed with severe spinal stenosis in the L4 and L5. Never had any issues all throughout this time. But I began to feel pain and a tingling going down a leg. Obviously, I take that serious, knowing that it was something new to myself. Come to find out, went to a pain management doctor. Not much can be done. Steroids, injections. Went to chiropractor. Wasted time and wasted money. So, however, the chiropractor said, hey, you need to get an MRI done. Find out exactly what's going on. Make a long story short, it came back. I went to NYU, saw a spine surgeon, Dr. Kim, shout out. Very, very good. One of the tops in spinal surgery.
What's up, Kim? Dr. Kim.
And he said to me, it was the worst stenosis he's ever seen. He said, it's because of, I was born with a smaller spinal canal. So off the rip, I'm already behind the 8 ball. So then, obviously, compound over the years, it makes it worse and worse and worse. So now I'm to the point he was shocked that I was able to stand and walk. But the one thing that the pain management doctor told me is to continue to work out until you have the surgery, which was beneficial. He also said, make sure you double the amount of protein intake prior to surgery. Because as we know, protein rejuvenates, strengthens, right? The tendons, the muscles all around. I was like, oh, okay. I did as the doctor ordered, but come to find out, it is an enhanced recovery after surgery. They call it ERAS. So I was like, okay, here we go. So I had the surgery. I was up and walking. Surgery took about an hour and a half. He said, you know what? I did not have to fuse anything. I have to do anything but create more space in your spine. So I was like, in the canal. So I was like, perfect. He said, make sure you don't lift heavy weights. So Dr. Kim is like 5'5", 150 pounds. Like, what's relevant weight to you, to me, is two different, but I get the concept.
I get it.
So after post-surgery, I was up and walking, and my recovery, I was back and started PT in September. So August 22, 30th, I had the surgery. I was doing PT from September, October. Doctor says, oh, you can go back. PT doctor said, you can go to the gym and do cycle, recumbence bike. And in November, he cleared me to start lifting again.
There he goes.
Right? So I was like, man, this is amazing. So I contributed a lot of my recovery due to a lot of things I did before. I got into more or less training for like bodybuilding. I was always into fitness. I was always into working out. But I did a lot of stability, mobility, and flexibility training. I wasn't as big as I am now, muscular. I recomposed my body over time. But back then, I was a lot thinner and lighter. So, but a lot of that contribute. So I say all that to say that being active, being fit, eating correct, if you do run into a chance of having surgery, your chances of recovery are a lot faster than the average person that doesn't do anything.
A lot higher.
It's a lot higher, right? So, and a side note, I ended up 3 years later competing in bodybuilding, not having to do squats, not having to do anything that decompresses or compresses the spine. but deadlifts were out the window. So ended up being able to compete and actually winning and becoming a pro and so on and so forth.
And still build a strong foundation by doing other exercises to build the quads, right? Real quick, people forget Dorian Yates, famous Mr. Olympia, 6-time Olympia. After his first year, he stopped squatting because he started feeling pressure in his spine.
Right.
And he started doing more leg press, lunges, certain things. So there is a way to work around it, and which you did. And the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
You won the show.
Exactly.
And you looked amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I had help here. Our training partner, my very good friend, so the support was amazing. But, don't allow injuries to prevent you from moving. There is a will and there is a way. I'm not saying all injuries are possible, but you can do something. If at minimum, you know how to eat right. Because again, when you eat right, that contributes to your overall health and the strengthening of your body. So do not underestimate. It may not taste good all the time, but you don't want to abuse your body. You want to deposit good and get a great return. So again, eating is very key to, prior to having surgery, after having surgery. I know people who tend to run away from surgery out of fear, and I get it. But you have to do your own homework. I really had no choice, and if anybody knows, back surgeries are one of the worst recoveries. Some people are not the same. Yeah. But now we're in 2026. It was 2022 then. And science and everything has gotten a lot better. But, I would say my quality of life at the time looked dismal. I was like, oh my gosh, where am I going to be in a year, in 2 years? Am I going to be able to work or do whatever it is? Stand,
Am I be able to do stripping,
Am I be able to strip,
Gonna make that money.
Make that money, so that was over 20, 30 years ago.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
So, you want those quality of life, like my oldest brother, he's 78. He's getting his other hip done, and I shared things with him. He obviously witnessed it all, but, and it also is in the mind being confident that, I need to get this done. I'm going to do what it takes to make sure that my life is full of quality. And so I encourage those that, even after you have surgery, to get back in the gym, to eat right. Yeah. Take your time. There's no rush. Progression is the greatest medicine, and you don't have to think that I have to be there today.
Yeah. Another way to look at progression is how many of us work at a job, and imagine you working at the same job and you don't get an increase in pay or no raise. Doesn't that is boring? Progression is making more money, moving up the ladder. So your body is no different. Your body's your temple. So moving up the ladder means, increasing weight, increasing cardio, add different workouts, maybe add some spinning, some cycling, more stretching, more flexibility. So make it fun. It doesn't have to be playing with the kids outside, running around, and, being in the playground, And one quick story I want to share is being in martial arts for 20 plus years in jiu-jitsu, flexibility, stretching has always been a big part. Never had a major injury. And 2-something years ago, I'm playing with my kids, pick up basketball in the park, and I go for a jump, I land, I hear pop. First thing I think is Kobe Bryant. I tore my Achilles tendon, I'm done.
But no Kobe money.
No Kobe money. Therefore, I didn't even have the Kobe sneakers. You know what I'm saying? And I was scared. It wasn't my tendon, it was my knee. Didn't think nothing of it because I was walking. Made an appointment. The doctor was like, I think it's your ACL, I'm not sure. Went to see my orthopedic, x-ray, looks fine, MRI. I walk in, my orthopedic doctor, give a shout out, which Dr. David Gonzalez.
Oh, great.
And he goes, are you still working out, Carlos? I said, yeah. He goes, show me a squat. So I'm squatting, I'm jumping. And he's looking at me weird. I'm like, what's going on? I'm going to show you your MRI. Your ACL is torn out, flesh is done. I said, that's impossible. He goes, no, this is the MRI. You shouldn't be doing what you're doing. And the reason why I was still able to work out, to this day, no surgery. And Larry could tell you, we're still like pressing 600-700 pounds, doing walking lunges with 40-pound dumbbells, doing everything we're doing is because prior to that, I built strength, mobility in my legs, where even now I don't have an ACL in my left knee. I'm still able to still play basketball, still do what I love to do. Do I have to focus more on recovery? Heating pad after these sessions, ice? Yes. But I don't have that scar and I don't have to go under the knife. So again, what Larry was saying is if you do the little things and you're consistent throughout the years and no fault of your own, no fault of my own, just playing a pickup game, the recovery is better compared to somebody who doesn't do anything. And now you're going to have to go under the knife and it could be worse.
Right.
So if anything you could learn from us is we do practice what we preach. And yes, things like the dynamic warm-ups, the stretching, all these things that are not fun is essential for longevity.
Because people underestimate those little things for the long haul.
Yep.
And again, the biggest thing I want you all to take out of this is your nutrition is key. When you think about animals, not comparing anybody to any animal, but they eat, especially the vegetarian ones, right? Forget about the carnivores.
Yeah.
But they're strong. Their muscles, their bone structure, everything is just strong about whether it's a hippo or, an elephant, whatever, right? Like just name any animal. And you don't see their injuries, lasting, if anything. But the point is their nutrition. Our nutrition is key for preventiveness as well as healing. Does things happen like Carlos, where you're playing a game with your grandchild or whatever, you pull something, things do happen. But then that's when the mind kicks in and says, you know what? Let me find out what's going on. Don't ignore it. Let me then go address it, see my doctor, begin to do the research. And then you begin to do what you need to do. And that's take care of yourself.
Yep.
And not over stress. Don't overthink it. It's very, very important. I have to say that having a major injury for the first time in life mentally was a little discouraging. But then I'm built different. I always say that we are allowed to have a moment of emotions, but we can't stay there.
No.
Right? We have to get up and keep it moving. I would have to say also that, you would never know I had a major surgery by looking at me, being around me, seeing the weight that I push, but that's me. Do I run like I used to? Nah, but that's
now
my
is the
choice.
time to, if I play basketball, I'm beating Larry.
Right. I have the more.
Now is the time.
Right. So being 50 pounds or whatever than college weight. But so I just want to encourage you all that because I've seen individuals who are older than myself. There was a gentleman at our gym, and I won't disclose his name, looks amazing. And he's 71 years old. Mm. I mean, he's ripped, jacked, obviously not as big, but he's in phenomenal shape. Come to find out, he had the same type of surgery that I had. So I spoke to him prior to having surgery. He gave me some tips. He said, you're going to be fine, horse. You're going to be fine. Don't worry about it. You look at you. You look like a monster, And it's because of the years of taking care of myself. And that's the key. When you have surgery, if you've been taking care of yourself, I believe, and anybody can chime in and say, I had surgery, I've always taken care of myself, and it went left.
Yeah.
Something is not matching because all that I've experienced, people I know who've always taken care of themselves and weren't reckless and did what was right, recovered great. Now, am I 100%? No, nobody after surgery is 100%.
Agree.
Especially major surgery.
Yeah.
However, I am not where I could have been if, in fact, I did not care for myself the way I have been all these years.
Yeah.
So again, folks, our goal is to get you off that couch, to eliminate excuses, to become active. And like I was looking at something at Instagram today, and I posted it. If you go to Ageless Fitness, and you'll see there were about 3 women who started working out after 50 years old. I'm sure they may have had surgery in the past. I don't know their history, but it was incredible. They started working out at 50, but the 3 individuals were 73, 85, and I forget the third one. They look phenomenal. And I'm sure they have their story to tell. I'm sure there are those out there who can identify and would love to share that story as well on how they recovered after a surgery. and have a quality life.
If you had a surgery, please leave a comment, DM us on Instagram, Ageless Fitness. If you know somebody who's going to have surgery, reach out to us. We're here to help. Obviously, we're not doctors, but if you're going to have a back surgery, knee, certain things, we've been through a lot. You don't see it, but we're here to help you. And if we could, recommend a doctor and say, hey, go see this doctor, go see that doctor, and you do, then we did our job. So, yeah.
Exactly. I had an opportunity to have another surgery years ago, but we'll get into that in another episode. And what caused me, well, I won't say cause, it was really a choice. I could have either had the surgery or do what I've been doing.
Yeah.
And I chose to do what I've been doing, which I'll share in the next episode.
Yes.
That really, helped me help others. And like Carlos said, if you need help and you're facing back surgery, I would love to talk to you.
Yes.
In my experience, what you need to do, it's very simple. It's not a lot, but it's really to give you some tools, things to ask. I'll even give you Dr. Kim's number and information because he's amazing. And that so you could, have this quality of life as you continue to live this journey.
Yeah. So reach out to us. Again, leave a comment on our channel, DM us on Instagram, Ageless Fitness. Can't miss it. And honestly, we hope to hear from you soon. Please, reach out.
Thank you all for tuning in to another episode. See you next time.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care.